Hello， 欢迎大家继续回来收看我这频道。我们今天继续来玩这个《地平线2》的洗金地啊。上次我们玩到那个飞达了，跟他的一人要一起来到那个双石塔这里了，又给那个锁楼跑掉了，现在又要继续找他。 费斯托斯啊！真的是费斯托斯啊！哎呦，看到这里就堵烂哦！插他先，再来一下。喂，都晕了咩？喂，用到火给他用，那边还有一个。 因为有两边的，先来这边啊！哇，女朋友哦！慢，哇，看到了！一粒啊，完了！刮不到了，哎，这下去好像算了，还有一只啊！我講你唔好一直蝦我。 你咪跌咗落去咩？哇，麻烦了这个，后面真的越来越难打。没有办法了啊！ 手神啊，那个一直讲话。还有咩？哇，这个咁多隻啊
Machines on the way. Beta, Hephaestus has locked me out of the node. Any ideas?
I'll see what I can do.
喂，sorry。
Something ignited.
到我啦！有冇會俾我啦？ 看拿武器，拿武器先。哦，死到，对没有了。哎，够力！你来的孔啊 ？OK， 收工。
I got them all.
I tapped into the core's network hub. I managed to disrupt Hephaestus' control of the node. You should be able to override it now.
我有拿了，现在不要整那么多。
Thanks.
这边，这边。更多一次。 跳。
It sounds like it fled to another chamber.
Well, it better not get comfortable.
哎，不要弄下，不要弄下，这边有这么。
Great. Festus covered the floor with lightning. I gotta find a way over it.
Aloy, more machines keep coming. Please tell me you're getting close.
I'm working on it. I've been smashing through a lot of machines on my side too.
我都想快点到啊！
Anyway, I'm making progress on the bypass, but I need something to hold the cycling module together.
Maybe a ligament from one of the machine carcasses?
Right? Or some luminous braiding.
You could reinforce it with a conversion cylinder.
For increased connectivity. I think we can do this, Aloy.
这边好像跳过去了啊，这边啊，这边滑下去，哇丢！
Alright. I need to draw Festus out of here.
无声攻击，
Got it.
其他就看到了咯。一个，旁边有一个，走云地线，走云地线，走云地线，走云地线。啊，给他看到啊，算了。 300多死不去了。有一只。哇，我的血！哇，后面真的越来越难打，你靠弓箭是没有用啊，后面越来越难打了。身上那些什么来的哈？有没？
Oh, here we go again.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. I'll try to get your access back.
酒啊，你都肥得出啦！稳咗。哇！仆街啊！要打他那边，给他那边爆。 多隻佢點啊？哇！我跟你講，這邊真的難打。
Node access restored. Now you can override it.
Good work.
没有了添。
You did the heavy lifting.
Chỉ được gì? Bao giờ phải mà? Kỳ của. Ở cái lông nào? Bên lông不到了啊。lông不到了。
Okay. Festus is running out of places to hide.
Aloy? I just registered a huge energy surge back in the production chamber. Something big is happening.
Here too. Everything's glowing.
Machine
Yo,
Festus is
miss,
building.
yo.
It must have finished it.
It's powerful, whatever it is. I'm almost done with the core repairs.
他这样讲一定有大 boss 了
Should
啊
we！ come to you? Maybe I could distract the machine if...
No, wait. Just stay where you are, okay? Handling the machine's my job.
Be safe.
下去先，下去先，拿埋那2箱先。这样多东西啦，太难做啦。用我的这个石头啊，等一下尽量用那个剑直接跟他打，不要想象多了。哇，帅哦！
Scan it first.
要用兵啊，打这个要用兵啊！
I think it's charging up.
冇嘢啊，冇兵啊！
Finish charging.
我去，我拿4龙给打你！
He got plasma on me. It's gonna explode any second.
喂喂，我跳不到嘞！走，走先，走先，咁多，我抌，擺多就擺多啦，會爆就好了，不要焗啊！再存子彈下去，再給我打哦！等他過來先，等他過來，喂！ 你墮入情網啊！我做個貓外看。誒，好死啦！丟這個好慢，
Charging up again.
再丟。
It's done.
解決啦，解
You
決
did
啦！
it! There should be one more node to override.
Good. Stand by. I'm sending Hephaestus back to you.
這邊有東西拿了先啦。這個東西還在閃哦，你閃咩啊？閃咩鬼？哎呦！
No more hiding, Hephaestus!
Got it! Hephaestus is back in the core!
Make sure it stays there.
這樣多東西保
I'm
護
heading
它
back.，
And then we can start the merge.
都不懂是不是真
Because
的
of you, Beta.
贏得到
I'm
啦
glad you came along.
本來
And you, Varl. We couldn't have done any of this without you.
Right back at you, Aloy.
觉有人会领便当啊，心情这样哎，而且这样，你不要我，你不要做买那些傻的东西哦，你剧情给我好好来哦。
Aloy, the bypass is done. Akora stable.
哦，完成了，算成
Festus
功。
is 100% contained. Now we better get started with the merge. It's all set up. Gaia, establish the link, please.
Done.
Okay, to complete the merge, we need to excise Hephaestus's malicious code. Carefully.
Ayo. 合作冇間。孖生阿妹啊！
Aloy, look.
啊，那个飞啊，可以飞啊！有些任务要飞的，应该是这个啊，可以做他们飞啊，哈。歡樂嘅時光過得特別快，我都講了啦，這三個哆來咪。
Redundant copy. You cost us quite a lot of time.
Oh no！ 我完全唔夠打。
Eric, get Beta. And squash that bug while you're at it.
所以他們怕這些。
Ooh!
夠力了哦！
Get behind me.
你不要跟我講是這個咯，後面白衣我都沒有這樣管哦。
Come on! Quit screwing around.
Now we're having fun, right?
No！ 真的是他嘞，死掉了啊！
Finally.
還是不能
Zelda,
是
get
殺
Gaia and
他。
Hephaestus ready for transport.
哎呦，還要給埋他們哦！
Zelda!
哎呦，梗係給埋啊！
Hush. All is not lost.
Zelda! What the hell are you doing?
哎，
Stop her!
I can't even see her.
哎，這個咪是幫我的嘞，唔通係我底？女裝拉揈啊！這個就慘了，這個。
Beta.
你不要理他北打啦，你的朋友死了啊！啊，北打，我以為北打領便當，還好我對話跟他講到完了。不是有些對話沒有得講，哎呦，哎呦，怎麼講的這個劇情？哎，雖然係有人死啊，我明啊。
You took quite a hit.
他們真是他嘞！
I imagine you must still be in a great
这个
deal
吴
of
子
pain.
成跑到来帮我到这边呢，从第一代啊，第二
The
代
others can't detect us here.
You mean the
没有
others
办
in
法，我老婆现在又不够他们打，剧情需要啊，没有办法。
Beta would have told you about me.
Where is she?
Alive. And while she isn't where she wants to be, not in urgent danger. We must discuss how to get her back, of course, after you've shaken off the cobwebs.
要投
When
入
you're
两
ready,
一起
take the
帮
stairs
他
down。the hall and come see me. In the meantime, I'll make breakfast.
Breakfast. Okay.
仲愛食早餐 ？OK。哎呦，他女朋友傷心到死了咯，有難啊！唔定啱拍拖嘅啫你，有冇有條女嘅啫你？
Why did Tilda
不要自己
bring
跑
me
出
here?
去先。我现在给他们还有火啊！我现在给他们送到家里啊！哦，这边啊，来到这边啊，之前没来过，我都没有来过，对不对？哦，还好没有来呀、这边呢？
What was all this for? Some kind of survival bunker? What is this?
好多畫哦！
Just a few favorites from my collection. Rescued and stored here just before I went off-world. Take a look, if you like. I'm curious to hear your impressions.
你也是一个仆街啊！离开地球不是救人了，是救这些东西啊！
You want me to look at old paintings?
Don't be so quick to dismiss the comfort we can find in art, or the insight we might gain.
就在这边看啊，检查这些东西啊。先看这个，都是新的你。
My favorite pairing. On the left is Woman Reading a Letter by Vermeer, a true master. And on the right is a forgery, Woman Reading Music, which fooled experts into believing it was a priceless original. Early in my career, I became fascinated with such deceptions. Eventually, I developed scanning software that could detect fakes with unparalleled accuracy.
Is that how you made enough money to buy your way onto the Odyssey?
Oh no. I made my real fortune later.
Why do you keep the forgery?
I've always enjoyed studying the two side by
我
side.
一直听到嘣嘣声
Both
呢，
painters
上面是
capture
什么？
light, color, and perspective. But what makes one a masterpiece and the other simply an imitation?
The forgery looks sharper.
Good eye. The details are crisp. The contrast bold. It tells us more, and yet we feel less. Selene and Endymion. She's the goddess of the moon, whereas he's a simple shepherd. Beside her is the god of love, Cupid.
So she's sneaking up on him?
More like visiting him in secret. The torch that Cupid bears represents Selene's undying infatuation with him. Though the two must remain apart, her love will forever burn. This is Rembrandt painting Jeremiah, a man in mourning.
Mourning what?
His home. The ancient city of Jerusalem.
冷古城，佢
He
以前
foresaw
家
its
中
impending
亡，
doom, but could do nothing to prevent it. So instead, he saved its treasures from destruction, just as I saved these works. You could say we're kindred spirits.
自己保护人保护不到，保护自己的重要物品比较重要啊。
A portrait of the painter Rembrandt's son Titus, depicted in the habit of a monk.
I don't get it. Why would someone like you, with infinite resources, care about this painting of a boy in a hood?
It's not the image itself, but the feeling it conveys. The face is bright and defined, but his eyes are downcast, heavy with misfortune. And the background seems to swallow all light. The painting is infused with a sense of loss.
I guess I understand how the painter feels.
Rembrandt's The Night Watch, by far the most famous painting my homeland ever produced. It was commissioned to honor a militia made up of influential citizens.
I guess you must have been an influential citizen.
In my day. But not as influential as you've been in this new world.
当然啦，我亚罗也是救星来的嘞，像你们啊。
The Gust, by Willem van de Velde, the most famous of his many maritime paintings.
A ship crossing into the unknown. I guess you're familiar with that.
Indeed, which is why I appreciate this composition in particular. Though waves and wind threaten to destroy the ship, it perseveres, clinging to the light even as darkness closes in all around it.
你最喜歡啦，肥爆佢，整爛佢喎。走神順途。
Weight on his shoulders. I should move on.
Kung-Pao.
Madness out of grief. It's hard to watch her suffer.
Stunning, isn't it? Paintings were the only masterpieces of my people's golden
唔識
age.
欣賞喎真係。
This is Van Vianen's Leaded Ewer, molded from a single sheet of silver.
What was it for?
How like Elizabeth you are. Function over form. Its practical purpose was less important than its meaning. Van Vianen created it in honor of his late brother, who himself was a famous silversmith.
A memorial.
Yes. Such beauty from sorrow.
漂亮咯，看完了咯，检查完他所谓的藝術品啊，這邊也有嘅，裡面這邊也是有，係冇嘢俾我攞嘅啫，咁大間嘢，來到我這邊讀的書又沒有，什麼鬼都沒有，看這藝術品，完了，極深喎真係。 呢一場仗輸得好慘。
There you are. Feeling better?
你覺得呢？
How did you find us? At the cauldron? And what did you do to everyone right before I passed out?
All business, I see. Well, suffice it to say we were keeping a very close eye on Hephaestus, knowing we would need it at some point. Your ruse didn't fool us, and as for my little trick, it was an overload of the senses, accompanied by an energy discharge. Gerard and Eric were only momentarily disoriented due to their shields, but it rendered you
我
unconscious.
們騙不到啊！
Perhaps some breakfast might steady you a bit?
我啱啱掛咗個朋友，你叫佢食早餐。誒，還可以上去耶！等一下應該可以自由活動。
This was your house. The one you recreated for Beta. In the data channel you shared.
How perceptive of you. Please, this way.
就突然短个头枪来
After
绑
everything
我，
your
不
people
管是
have
好还
done,
是坏
you
的。
think I'm just gonna sit down and have a chat with you?
No，
They're not my people. They never were, and especially not now.
你们跟他相
You
处
show
了这样
off
久，
into space with them, and live with them for 1,000 years before coming back.
生活有1000年才
So
回
why
来，
did you suddenly turn on them?
你会背叛他们咩？
Quite simply,
1000年。
this.
哎呀，我的 focus 了。
My old focus. You repaired it? But that means you've seen.
哎呀，我老婆以前的东西没给看到完。
What you've accomplished in 2 decades of life.
他小的时候，
1,000 years at my back, and I haven't even come close.
我打嗰啲都唔知喺
I'm
邊度
sorry if
啊
I！ invaded your privacy, but I had to. In order to understand. To be enlightened. You truly are Elizabeth's blood. With her drive, her sense of mission, her integrity. Watching all this shamed me for the company that I've kept. Having seen it, all I want is to help you.
Even if it means stopping your friends.
Especially so. Please, sit down.
他們以前一起一樣樣嘅，係咪好熟咧？
There. That's better. Now, we must recover Beta and Gaia at all
都
costs.
將你把你的衣服
By
給
now,
我
you
就可
must
以
know
了，
that
然後你
Gerard
可以消
intends
失
to
啊！
use Gaia to reboot the Earth's biosphere. Remaking this world to specifications that would only suit us immortals. This process will kill every living thing on the planet. He calls it a clean install.
Not if I stop him first.
Not if we do. And once he and the others are gone, we can work together to fulfill Elizabeth's dream. I'm sure Beta told you that there's a build of the Apollo database on board our ship. A complete collection of human knowledge. With that and Gaia, we could do everything Elizabeth wanted. Heal the biosphere, educate the people of this world, uplift them. Create the world she imagined.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. From what I've seen, your friends are invincible.
I do wish you would stop calling them my friends. And they're not invincible.
你本來就係佢哋嘅
In
朋友
fact,，a friend of yours
你本來就是他們
has
朋友。
found a way to defeat them.
Silence.
He's been a busy bee, building an army powerful enough to crash through Gerard's precious base.
Yeah. Regala and her
你
rebels.
家啦，
Even now, she's preparing a final march on the Tenakth capital. When she wins, she'll have the entire tribe under her control. Hundreds of warriors and machines to throw at the base. She's been doomed. They'll all perish, of course. But it should be enough to break Gerard's defenses and allow Silence to kill him. Along with all the others.
Using the new weapon he's developed.
Yes, he's found a way to circumvent our shields. Truly an exceptional man. He's planned for everything. Except you and me. You see, while his army is battering down Gerard's doors, you and I will sneak in through a back way. One that only I know about. While Silence and my friends are busy battling each other, we'll take back Beta and Gaia. I told you I want to help you. I mean it.
好多嘢問咯。想問我的
My old
focus
focus. How did you find it, let alone repair it?
When we encountered you at the Hades
Great
Proving
cover.
Lab, Gerard saw you as a redundancy. I knew better. You were a revelation. After your dramatic escape, bravo, by the way. Gerard and Eric assumed you were dead and gave up the hunt. I wasn't so sure. When the others were busy,
以為我
I
死掉
returned
了
to the
以為
lab
亞
and
羅伊
searched for any trace of you.
將我死
That's when I found this little
將
treasure.
你死
Not easy to repair, but
亞羅伊
certainly
是主角來的嘞
as I watched your life unfold. You were like a splash of color on a worn canvas. What Liz was, and more.
Did you show it to the others?
Of course not. It was your actions that inspired me to defy them. It's worth noting that if I hadn't found it,
當然
and
啦，少
watched
了
its
他們兩個你就
contents,
皇帝
I
喂
wouldn't have known to save you at the cauldron. You'd be dead.
So I should be grateful.
我
If you
主
are.
角光環的喎，你這樣死就死了，你繼續站他們那邊啊。那你
So
呢？
you know all about me. What about you?
What would you like to know?
Start with your life on Earth.
When I was 8, terrorists flooded my home city.
用
Thousands
水
drowned.
淹沒你的城市啊，這樣厲害
I
呀！
was one of the few who survived. My guardian sent me
以
to
前的科
boarding
技
school.
都很厲害哦，他們的。
Among my peers, I was the strange girl, the orphan to be avoided. All because of circumstances beyond my control.
Oh. So we're a lot alike, huh?
Aren't we? You're an outcast. But you didn't let that stop you from getting what you needed. Neither did I. I climbed my way out of desolation and used my wits to build a fortune. First from the technical analysis of art and the detection of forgeries. Profitable expertise in those days. But as it turned out, the software I developed was even more useful for counterintelligence. From there, it was only a short step to gathering extremely valuable intelligence on my own.
我那個蓋亞也是給他們搶掉了，來
More
扛
like
定
a。service one could turn to for information. I had to remain anonymous, of course, to protect my privacy. But despite that anonymity, Far Zenith inevitably sought me out.
加入元豐，
What happened when Far Zenith approached you?
They painted an irresistible vision of humanity's
我
future.
做他們的狗啊！
One where we need not fear illness or death, where we explored the furthest reaches of the stars and thrived. It was only later that I realized that they only intended to bequeath this future to the rich and powerful. By the time I finally figured it out, the walls were closing in, Pharaoh's machines were devouring the earth. So I accepted Far Zenith's invitation to a berth on the
所以
Odyssey.
世界末日他們只是救那些有錢人跟有勢的人而已。
But she had nobler plans, as you well know.
留下這些其
So
他
you didn't know the other Zeniths were monsters until it was too late?
I knew some of them were. Certainly. It wasn't until we were off planet that I understood the true scope of their greed. I was grateful to simply be alive, but the others became obsessed with a kind of effortless immortality. They built a colony where machines serviced their every need, where any memory or fantasy could be endlessly savored in virtual reality. It wasn't life. It was stultifying, a pampered dream state. As the decades passed, I withdrew more and more, alone yet again, but this time with eons to consider my mistakes. Now finally, having met you, I feel like I have a second chance.
To do what?
我不管你元丰人有幾個了，我要殺那兩個就對了
To
啦。
fulfill Liz's dream, which isn't so different from Far Zenith's original vision. A better future for humanity.
問人啊，問下貝達
You
先
said。Beta is not in urgent danger, so what are the Zeniths doing to her?
Putting her to work. Merging Hephaestus with Gaia. A difficult, time-consuming task, as I'm sure you know. They will compel her if need be. but her life is not in danger. She's the only one.
就係一直受苦，一直
Because
受
you
苦
people
啦。
made her to be nothing but a tool.
Gerard's idea, not mine.
傑拉德
They always viewed me with suspicion when I attempted any form of kindness towards her. That's why I created the data channel. A virtual place where we could speak in peace.
激流
So
通
this
道。
channel you shared with Beta, none of the other Zeniths ever found out about it.
Gerard believes he's the most cunning of all of us. Even after 1,000 years, he still can't imagine that I would outwit him. The channel allowed me to interact with Beta away from their mistrustful eyes. It offered us a chance to be ourselves.
Until you cut off all contact.
Yes. Though it pained me. I was worried that our meetings would do her more harm than good.
She felt like you tossed her aside.
I was afraid the others would find out and punish her. She may not have had the comforts of friendship anymore, but at least I ensured she was safe. I know it seems harsh, but you must believe that her well-being has always been paramount to me.
這個地
Why
方
did you make the data channel look like this place?
I built this house as a shelter to weather any storm. A safe place. Not just for me, but
底下
for the
存
art
在的
stored
藝
below.
術品。
Cultural artifacts of incalculable value. Truly some of the greatest achievements of human civilization.
And you wanted Beta to see them?
Yes. Her upbringing was so cold and technical. I thought if she could experience Vermeer and Rembrandt, it would bring something else into her life. A heritage every bit as valuable as the
是你
scientific
們
and
創造下出
technical
來，
data being drummed into her.
一直利用那個北大。
I'm sorry I had to cut off contact, but I'll never regret sharing this house with her. She needed its shelter even more than I did.
他本來想好好一個人過生活的，就是你們這些人啊，一直利用他。
Beta told me your colony was destroyed. That you came back to Earth because you had nowhere else to go.
It's true. After we reached our destination, a planet in the Sirius star system, we spent decades building a new home. The physical constraints of Earth, the boundaries of mortality, gone. To think of what we could have done. It might have been a utopia. Instead, we stagnated, absorbed in effortless comforts and virtual realities. It took a cataclysm to finally yank us out of our stupor.
What happened?
A massive geological event. We knew of instabilities in the planet core, but we underestimated them. By the time the collapse was upon us, it was too late to stop it. Only a few of us made it to the ship in time.
哦，
We
其
set
他就死
course
掉
for
了。
Earth, the only safe harbor left to us.
Which you decided to make unsafe for anyone else.
Not me. Gerard.
又是傑拉德，
He
一直
believes
推
it's
啊。
better to wipe the canvas clean than work around the
還是
smudges.
抵死
No more
啊！
primitive
哪裡都
tribes, no more combat
拖尾唔
machines,
到啊。
only a blank slate to do with as he pleases. But we will stop him. All we have to do is get into that base.
What exactly is your plan to sneak into the Zenith base?
We will make use of a lesson I learned from an early age. Always know your exits. In this case, a place where Gerard's new construction meets the ancient foundation. A passage that only I can access. When Silence flings his army at the base, we will enter through this back door.
這樣我就知道他們基
bypassing
地
most
啊
of，the fighting.
又要去
The
打到一個。
distraction will provide us with a window in which to rescue Beta and Gaia.
北大在哪？
Once we're inside the base, where will we find Beta and Gaia?
Here in the command center. By then, Gaia will have been reunited with all of its subordinate functions, including Hephaestus.
What about the alpha build of Apollo on your ship?
A simple matter of recovery once the others have been dealt with. With that in hand, we'll have everything we need to make this world as it should be.
How do you know about Silence's plan?
He isn't the only one adept at spyware.
You hacked his focus?
No, he's too careful for that. But his subordinates? Not so much. He gave additional focuses to the tribals he branded the Sons of Prometheus.
The ones working with Regalla.
By tapping their focuses, I learned about most of
你
his
加啦，我都係
deeds,
未遇到
the
過，應
distribution
該
of
在
override
下一次遇到佢應該是殺
the
掉
arming
啊
of。Tanakh rebels, and the secret pact with
那個也
Regalla
是要
to
死。
attack Gerard's base.
But how did he come up with a weapon that can take down your shields?
That's the one thing I haven't been able to figure out, but however he did it, I'm quite certain it will work. With it and the Tanakh army, victory seems to be within his grasp. Such a shame he'll be disappointed.
Regalla's only interested in killing Hekarro and waging war on Akarja. What does she have to gain by attacking Zeniths?
It's the price she must pay for her war. Without the ability to override machines, her little rebellion would have languished in the desert.
So she trades with the Sons of Prometheus. Machines to help her overthrow Hekarro.
In exchange for an assault on the base. Pride has deluded her into thinking she can actually survive such a battle. And all without ever knowing who the Sons of Prometheus really answer to. Yet for all of Silence's brilliance, still he underestimates you. That blind spot is what will allow us to take Beta and Gaia right out from under him.
While hundreds of Tanakh are cut down outside.
伊丽莎白
So
都
you
說他啦
knew。 Elizabeth. What was she like?
到底是怎的啦？
Everything she
那盖亚
does,
也不懂，
I
这
see
個
in
應該
you
懂了吧？
and more. Your ingenuity, your determination, your moral compass. You've managed to distill her greatest qualities and make them your own.
I'm not asking about me. Tell me about Elizabeth. What was she really like?
The honest answer is that I don't actually know.
又不知
For all
道。
the time that I spent with her, she always kept a part of herself locked away. It was like that from the moment we met.
你怎么認識
So
他
when you
的？
met Elizabeth, she was what? Distant? Aloof?
Not aloof. Not exactly. It was a summit in Paris about machine learning. A touchy subject in those days. Because regulatory authorities were just starting to clamp down on AIs. Liz gave the keynote address. She had already achieved great renown for her work in automated environmental reclamation. But in her address, she was just starting to imagine the
一下子
next
可以
step.
問他這麼多
An
東西，
AI-driven system that
這個也是差
wouldn't
不
just
多了。
act on its programming, but actually take responsibility for its sphere of influence.
To care about life. Not just follow orders.
Revolutionary stuff. I was fascinated. And I wanted to meet her for a long time. I watched her after her talk. She had spoken with such moral authority, such empathy. But after that, she retreated. I could tell she felt uncomfortable with all of her admirers. It was as if giving the talk had cost her something. I didn't want to be a pest, so I planned my approach carefully.
So how did you finally approach Elizabeth after her talk?
I picked the right moment. The morning of the next day, right as she came back to the conference, she had just had her coffee. She was fresh, rested. It was like she had braced herself for the onslaught of colleagues. I asked if I could walk with her, then put forth a question about her talk that I thought was intelligent. Her answer made me realize it wasn't, but she was very welcoming. Almost as if we were previously acquainted. It was only halfway through the conversation that I realized she knew exactly who I was. It was quite a shock to me. My business was trafficking in secrets, and I took great pains to protect my anonymity. So that was Liz, perpetually one step ahead. I came to view our meeting as a metaphor for our friendship. She always seemed to know me far better than I knew her.
I guess I know the feeling.
一定要知道辦法。好啦，主題啊，聊完天聊啦，我諗下先。
Now Hikaru and the Tenakth. Your plan would wipe out an entire tribe. There has to be another way.
We are in an admittedly desperate situation, but I assure you there isn't. Remember Zero Dawn. Elizabeth's sacrifice. Sometimes many have to die for a new world to grow.
諗辦法。
Looks impossible. Look deeper. Wait. The data
想得嚟
chip.
啊！
It still exists, doesn't it? I need you to open it. Let me talk to Beta.
Impossible. We might be detected.
It's worth the risk. There is another way, one where the Tenakth survive.
But we won't. If the others...
If you want to help, open it.
幫我就開，又是這個性格嚟啊！我講咁多廢話。大家你好。在這邊啊。
What are they doing to her?
Virtual reality dissociation. The manual merge of Hephaestus will take hours upon hours of tedious micromanagement. If she resists the work, they run simulations to induce feelings of isolation and despair.
Beta, can you hear me?
You're alive. They're watching me. I can't hold up this extra protection for long. You should have killed me.
佢殺咗我哋，
No.
落唔到手啊！
I'm coming.
跟他一樣啊，
Promise. Okay. I just need
假
you
如
to
應該當你是妹妹這樣好
and
了。
work on the merge.
洋洋子，喂，喂，你們講什麼？什麼？我沒有，連我都不可以聽啊！
Then I think it can be done.
你不要跟他講，不用緊啦，
I'll
你當
contact
跟我
Beta
講嘛
next time.。Can you hold on?
As long as I know you're coming for me, I can endure anything.
忍啊忍啊！忍下忍下。
All right. I did as you asked. Now I think you need to tell me what you're planning.
I'm
No,
going
no,
to
no.
Salon's army away. I don't need it. Only the weapon he made to penetrate your shields.
And how do you
Oh,
propose to get
do you
him?
allow
Ask
them
him
to-
nicely?
Without Regala and her rebels, he won't have a choice. We'll be his only option.
Only option for what? What did you tell her?
That is between
唉
us.，
但係兩姊妹
Will
嘅
be
秘密
Salon's only
係
option
唔
for
會同你
crashing
講
your
嘅
base. I'll tell you the rest later. But first, there are a couple of things I have to do.
Oh. And what are those?
Lay my friend to rest.
啊
And then I'm going to use the override that Beta gave me at Gemini to put an end to Regala's rebellion. From the air.
空襲戰術，
Wait.
佢肥油嘛，現在。
Since you insist on doing things your way, I know of something that will truly help you make a grand entrance with the Tenakth.
誒，你又出咩俾我睇啊？
The ancient Horus Titans still possess electromagnetic energy cells as part of their arsenal. Drop one of those on Regala's army, and they'll receive quite a surprise.
我这里讲话讲很久。
So go, do what you must. I'll come to your base if you manage to bring silence to the table.
喂，懂我叽叫喊你的。他懂哦。
Erend, are you there?
Aloy! Aloy, is that really you?
Yeah, it's me. Where's everyone else?
We're all... We're back at base. What happened?
It might be easier to explain in person. I'll try to join you there when I can.
Okay. We'll wait here for you. It's good to hear your voice, Aloy.
无常嘛，不用讲跟你讲啊，讲了越伤心啊，有东西看，严重啊！你们按下来自己看啊，可以按停来看而已。这个是哪里啊？水，哇，还有山歌这。哇，上面有一朵花，可以上去哦，上去看看先。
Looks like there's more to this place. I'm sure Tilda will want me poking around. How to get through these vines?
哦，他应该不介意的啦。
Just to let you know, I'm now patched into your focus network.
Great. I take it the other Zeniths can't hear us?
Of course not. And they don't know about your base either, in case you were wondering. I've sent you data on the Horus energy cells you can use against Regala's forces. Reach out to me when you're ready to acquire one.
Understood.
哎，我不是晃，喂，这边又有。
Shotgun won't do much.
喂，这边又有，2003的，历史回顾。308了，刚刚我看到一个37的没？那我不懂了，我看到这边又跑去哪里的？把场跑回出去啊，这边。 都不懂哪里拉，这样多想头。刚刚看到那个花了嘞，去哪里哦又？这边啊。哎，不要管了，现在我应该会做我的支线那些线了，然后再回去基地再搞什么了。好了，我们游戏先到这边了，我们下个影片再继续啊。大家喜欢的话，帮忙订个阅，按个like，帮我分享一下，谢谢大家收看，我们下个影片见，拜拜。